years. Part 2 topic of that challenges in improving the agricultural production. Okay, soil nutrients. Soil nutrients means how much amount of soil nutrients plants are absorbing from the soil, and not only that, what are the nutrients plants are absorbing from the soil and how much amount it is absorbing. Let us discuss. So plants absorb different nutrients from the soil in addition with the water. By absorbing water, the nutrients also mixed, solubilized in that water. The mixed or solubilized nutrients in the water plant absorbs. Okay. The two kinds of nutrients are there: macronutrients and micronutrients in the soil. Okay. Macronutrients means the plant requires the large quantity of these nutrients. The plant requires in large quantity. These nutrients the plant requires in large quantity. Examples are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, etc. salts are there. These are the main important: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And the plants eat ekku kavali nutrients and so we are calling it as macro. Macro means large amount of nutrients plant requires. And next, micronutrients. Micronutrients means plant requires these nutrients in the small amount. Plants ki small amount, tough amount of power nutrients. In the examples, iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, chlorine, and nickel, etc. Okay, this is about the soil nutrients. How much amount and what are the nutrients, macro and micro, the plant is requiring and taking. Next, plant absorbs nutrients from soil, it's okay. But soil gets nutrients from where? From where means, in our nature, in our ecosystem, one activity is there: dead, dying, decay. Plants chanipotayi. Aa chanipoyina plants lopala unna nutrients anevi malli soil teeskuntundi annamata. This is the natural process of replenishing. Replenishing ante malli tirigi techukodam soil lopala. Malli edaina kolpothe malli tirigi techukodam replenishing. Okay. It replenishes the nutrients. Soil replenishes the nutrients by this dead and decay process. But this is a slow process. This natural process is slow process. For the commercial use, commercial products, agricultural production ekku kavali ante, what the farmers will do? Farmers add the organic manure, chemical fertilizers, and crop rotation. By this process, farmers replenishes by adding chemical fertilizers and organic manures and crop rotation and many more methods. Farmers replenishes the nutrients in the soil. Crop rotation. Crop rotation. For example, if you take, cereals you take. Cereal requires more nutrients for the cultivation, but legume requires not more nutrients for the cultivation. It doesn't require more nutrients for the cultivation. So it adds, in turn, it doesn't require more nutrients, and in turn it adds the nitrogen salts in the soil. Legumes have the ability or the capacity or the unique nature that it fixes the nitrogen in the soil. It fixes the nitrogen in the soil. So due to this nature, it gives nitrogen salts to the cereals by the crop rotation. Okay, helpful to the cereals, these nitrogen salts. Okay, let us take one example, like one crop for 5 years. One farmer cultivated one crop for 5 years continuously. He got the less yield. If another farmer, take example of another farmer, he cultivated one crop for 1 year, and in the next year, he cultivated another crop, and in the third year again he repeated the first crop. Okay, first year lo crop he cultivated, and second year lo malli inkoka vere edo plant crop cultivate chesadu. Malli third year lo vachesariki malli first year edo cultivate chesadu ade malli cultivate chesadu. He got the more yield. Why he got the more yield means, based on this you can say example like this. First year, if we take first year, he cultivated cereals with more nutrients, and in the second year he cultivated the legumes. Okay, legumes, and it requires the less nutrients with more, and in turn it produces or synthesizes nitrogen salts in the soil. So again in cultivate the cereals, it requires less nutrients. Then in the third year it requires less nutrients. Why it requires less nutrients? Because legumes in the second year it produced or synthesized the nitrogen salts, so farmer requires less nutrients because actually already nitrogen salts are present in the soil and the legumes produces the nitrogen salts అనేవి థర్డ్ ఇయర్ లో సెరల్స్ కి యూజ్ అవుతున్నాయి అన్నమాట. సాయిల్ లో ఆల్రెడీ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి సెరల్స్ కి యూజ్ అవుతాయి. అప్పుడు ఫార్మర్స్ న్యూట్రియంట్స్ అప్లై చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఎక్కువగా ఉండదు సెరల్స్ కి. సో ఇట్ గివ్స్ ద మోర్ yield. ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఫర్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ వి హావ్ గివెన్. కొన్ని పర్టికులర్ క్రాప్స్ అనేవి పర్టికులర్ క్రాప్స్ తో మాత్రమే మ్యాచ్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట, suitable for this crop rotation. So paddy crop rotation లో paddy కి suitable ఏ crop అంటే pulses and groundnuts. అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ లో paddy తీసుకుంటే సెకండ్ ఇయర్ లో pulses or groundnuts తీసుకోవచ్చు. మళ్ళీ we can repeat the cycle. థర్డ్ ఇయర్ లో మళ్ళీ paddy, అట్లా we can repeat the cycle same as like that. Tobacco first year, in the second year crop rotation for chili. Next for ready gram, maize or paddy. This cycle continues. So this is the importance of crops rotation. Cultivate mixed crops. Mixed crops అంటే different crops ని mix చేసి ఒకటే field లో cultivate చేయడం అన్నమాట. More than one crop cultivation in the same field. Okay, so soil gets fertilized. Because of this the soil gets fertilized అన్నమాట. Different crops అనేవి ఒకటేసారి mix చేసి మనం cultivate చేస్తే the soil gets fertilized. Fertilized అంటే మంచి న్యూట్రియంట్స్ ఉంటాయన్నమాట సాయిల్ లో ఇలా చేయడం వల్ల. సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ క్రాప్ మిక్స్డ్ క్రాప్స్, some combinations are there, like soya bean is grown with the peas. Soya bean and peas రెండు కలిపి ఒకే సేమ్ ఫీల్డ్ లో కల్టివేట్ చేస్తే it gives the best results, best yield. Okay, pea with the green gram, corn with the black gram, groundnut with the sunflower, and many more examples are there for the mixed crops. This is about the cultivation of mixed crops. Next, root nodules formation in the leguminous plants. Root nodules, what are the root nodules? Means some bacteria are there which can fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere. Actually plants didn't have the capacity to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Atmosphere లో ఉన్న nitrogen ని డైరెక్ట్ గా ఫిక్స్ తీసుకోవడానికి plants కి ability లేదు అన్నమాట, capacity లేదు. So some bacteria are there that which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen directly. That bacteria forms the nodules. Nodules అంటే ఇలా అన్నమాట, ఇలా nodules అంటే ఇలా ఫామ్ అవుతున్నాయి రూట్స్ మీద. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ these are the roots, it forms the nodules here. అలా ట్యూమర్స్ లాగా ఫామ్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట రూట్స్ మీద. ఇట్ ఫార్మ్స్ ద nodules on the roots of this leguminous plants. Leguminous plants అంటే గ్రౌండ్ నట్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి కదా, పీస్, beans, these all comes under the leguminous plants. Okay, so roots of this leguminous plant forms the nodules with the bacteria. Bacteria ఏం చేస్తుందంటే it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen and supplies to the plants. So by this the leguminous plant area will be fertilized. The soil also will be fertilized. That soil, leguminous plants where we are growing that leguminous plants, in that soil also nitrogen is more because of this nature, and it fixes the nitrogen and supplies for the other crops. For example, crop rotation lo if you are taking the leguminous plants as well as cereals, cereal requires more nutrients, more nitrogen nutrients or more nutrients. This leguminous plants gives more nitrogen by this ability to that cereal plants and the mixed crops. Okay, and then also crop rotation process also. And for example, if we took 50 kg or to 150 kg per hectare like nitrogen, not with for example, leguminous plants produces 50 kg to 150 kg of nitrogen per hectare. Okay, and not only the nitrogen fixing bacteria, some algae are also there. Blue green algae, cyanobacteria. Blue green algae also have the ability to fix the nitrogen in the soil. Mainly this blue green algae nitrogen fixation we can use in the rice fields. Organic manure means organic means natural manure. Okay, manure means the fertilizer. Oh, natural fertilizer. Natural manure from dead and decaying plant and animal waste. Natural manure from where we get? From the dead and decaying kulipotuna plant and animal waste nunchi. Okay, good nutrients to the soil, fertilizes the soil. Okay, this organic manure gives good nutrients to the soil and fertilizes the soil. Okay, water holding capacity also increases. By adding this organic manure, water holding capacity also increases. Two types of organic manures are there, that is the concentrated organic manure and the macro organic manure. Concentrated organic manure is rich in nutrients when compared to that of the macro organic manure. Concentrated organic manure examples are groundnut, gingerly, castor, neem, powders of this groundnut, gingerly, castor, neem, etc. These powders can also be given as given to animals as fodder. Okay, this is a nutrient rich. And organic manure macro organic manure example animal excreta, animal waste, and compost and deep litter. Ade kulipoyevi deep litter and compost vermi compost la anni vedam kada earthworms ni pettesi anta, that is compost. Okay, this has the less nutrients when compared to the of the concentrated organic manure. Let us take one example of organic manure. Vermi compost. Vermi compost is one example of the organic manure where we will in the compost pit, in one pit we will add earthworms and all the wastes like cow dung and many more like dry and dead leaves and anything dead material like that. Okay, in this it after dead and decayed this particular all materials, it forms the vermi compost. Vermi means that earthworms anamata. So earthworm compost, vermi compost. Okay, it contains mainly how much percentage of nutrients in the organic this particular vermi compost contains how much percentage of this nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Okay, kg per ton. For this much ton, if we get yield, if we get paddy yield, 5 tons of paddy yield we got. For that, how much kg of vermicompost we should use? Based on this percentage, we can use this particular organic manure amount to that particular crop. So, vermicompost contains nitrogen 1 to 3 percentage, phosphorus 1 to 2 percentage, and potassium 1 to 2 percentage. Green manure crops. Green manure crops means green plants are planted in the soil, and after that green plant leaves are again sown, are kept in the soil for the manure. These green leaves of that plant gets decomposed and gives the manure for the soil. Okay, ante green manure crops ante green manure ani ante కొన్ని ప్లాంట్స్ ని ఫార్మర్స్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే సాయిల్ లో పెడతారు. ఆ సాయిల్ లో పెట్టిన ప్లాంట్స్ ని మళ్ళీ తిరిగి సాయిల్ ప్లాంట్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఆ ప్లాంట్ ని మళ్ళీ సాయిల్ లో డిగ్ చేస్తారు అనమాట. డిగ్ చేసి పెడతారు. దెన్ దట్ ప్లాంట్స్ లోపల ఉన్న లీవ్స్ అనేవి డికంపోజ్ అయిపోయి మాన్యూర్ లాగా తయారవుతుంది అనమాట. ఇట్ విల్ బి హెల్ప్ఫుల్ ఫర్ ద అదర్ ప్లాంట్స్ విచ్ వి ఆర్ గ్రోయింగ్. Okay, this is about the green manure crops. Next, soil testing. Soil testing. Why we should test the soil means soil is tested by the agricultural officers or the soil testing officers. Soil testing officers untaru, agricultural officers untaru. We'll soil test chestaru anamata. Okay, why we should test the soil means if we know about our soil, if we know about our soil pH kaani ledante how much nutrients are present in our soil and our soil is fertile or not, mana soil is fertile kada, enta pH undi and enta humidity undi mana soil lo, mottam soil gurinchi soil test lo cheptaru anamata. So based upon the soil test, based upon our soil nature, we can select our particular crop crop nutrients and all those. Okay, if the soil is acidic or basic, based upon that, which crop we should use అనేది this agriculture officers or soil test officers, they will say for our which crop is suitable for our soil. Based upon that, they will use that particular crop and fertilizers and water based upon this soil test. Okay, okay. By this, prevention of wastage is done and the low investment. Wastage తక్కువ అవుతుంది and low investment కూడా తక్కువగా అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. Soil test గురించి మనకు సాయిల్ గురించి తెలిస్తే. So soil testing is mandatory for the prevention of waste and low investment. Okay, this is about the soil testing. And next, vermicompost. Vermicompost is one of the organic manures. It's one of the organic manures. How we prepare this vermicompost means 10 into 1 into half meter beds లాగా తయారు చేస్తాం. బెడ్స్ అంటే కొంచెం ఇలా బెడ్స్ లాగా ఒక ట్రేస్ లాగా తీసుకొని అందులో మనం ఇంత సైజు ఉన్న ట్రేస్ లాగా తీసుకొని కొన్ని ట్రేస్ అందులో ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఆ ట్రేస్ ని డైరెక్ట్ సన్లైట్ కి పెడతాం. డైరెక్ట్ సన్లైట్ అండ్ రెయిన్ ఫాల్ ఉన్న ప్లేసెస్ లో పెట్టి ఇన్ దాట్ విల్ యాడ్ కోకోనట్, banana, sugarcane, dry black gram. These all will add in that 3 to 4 inches layer. ఒక 3 to 4 inches layer అంతా మనం ఇవన్నీ కలిపి యాడ్ చేస్తాం ఆ ట్రేస్ లో. యాడ్ చేసి ఆ బెడ్స్ వాటిలో యాడ్ చేసి ఏం చేస్తాం, ఇన్నర్ లేయర్ వెట్గా ఉంచుతాం. లోపల లేయర్ అనేది వెట్గా అంటే వాటర్ యాడ్ చేసి వెట్గా ఉంచుతాం. లోపల లేయర్ అనేది ఉంచేసి ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ విల్ యాడ్ వెట్ డంగ్. ఓకే, విల్ యాడ్ వెట్ డంగ్ ని యాడ్ చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. డంగ్ అంటే cow dung. Okay, we'll add the cow dung or the buffalo dung. We'll add the wet dung, and after 2 weeks we'll add 1000 earthworms to that square meter. Okay, square meter ki 1000 earthworms add chestam. We know that earthworms are the friends for farmers. Okay, friends for farmers. It will be very useful for our crops. So మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే 1000 earthworms. Vermicompost is nothing but vermi means what earthworms యూజ్ చేసి కంపోస్ట్ యాడ్ చేస్తాం. ఆర్గానిక్ మాన్యూర్ యాడ్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి vermicompost అంటాం అన్నమాట. సో we are adding 1000 earthworms per square meter after 2 weeks. After this we are covering this total beds with gunny bags తో మనం vermicompost ని మనం కవర్ చేస్తాం. After covering it, after 60 days మనకి vermicompost అనేది ప్రిపేర్ అవుతుంది. vermicompost for preparing. If we use 3 tons మనం 3 tons ఇవన్నీ యూజ్ చేస్తామంటే 3 tons of nutrients ఈ డంగ్ ఇవంతా 3 tons యూజ్ చేస్తామంటే మనకి 1 ton of vermicompost we are getting. Okay, vermicompost we are getting. By this farmers get more yield of crops with less harmness. Okay, Panchagavya is also a organic manure, natural manure. This is a natural manure. Ingredients what are the ingredients used in Panchagavya are milk, curd, ghee, dung and urine of cow. Cow milk, curd, ghee, dung and urine are used to prepare this Panchagavya. First of all mix cow dung and cow ghee and settle it for 4 days. 4 days అలా ఉంచండి. కౌ డంగ్ కౌ ఘీ యాడ్ చేసి 4 days తర్వాత 5th డే రోజు ఏం చేయండి అంటే యాడ్ యూరిన్, మిల్క్, కౌ కర్డ్. కౌ యూరిన్, కౌ మిల్క్ అండ్ కౌ కర్డ్ యాడ్ చేయండి ఈ డంగ్ అండ్ ఘీకి. యాడ్ చేసి ఆఫ్టర్ దాట్ యాడ్ తోడి అండ్ కోకోనట్ వాటర్, షుగర్ కేన్ జ్యూస్, బనానా పేస్ట్ ఇవన్నీ యాడ్ చేయండి దానికి. మళ్ళీ ఆ మిక్చర్కి యాడ్ చేసి మిక్స్ వెల్ మార్నింగ్ అండ్ ఈవినింగ్ రోజు మిక్స్ చేయండి. ఎన్ని రోజుల వరకు 10 days. సెటిల్ ఫర్ 10 days. ఒక 10 days అలాగే పెట్టేసి రోజు మార్నింగ్ అండ్ ఈవినింగ్ మిక్స్ చేయండి. Still morning and evening spray, and our Panchagavya is ready. Okay, this Panchagavya is the sprayer type of manure. Spray చేయడానికి యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఇది అంటే లిక్విడ్ లా ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట ఈ Panchagavya అనేది. We can spray for the crops. Okay, this is the sprayer type of manure. So 3% of Panchagavya is enough to get higher yield. Higher yield ravalante 3% of Panchagavya is enough. Okay. 3% of Panchagavya is used to be sprayed on the crops to get higher yield. Also used as food for hens and ponds. ఇది hens కి food గా and ponds లో ఉన్న fishes కి కూడా food గా యూస్ చేస్తాం అన్నమాట పంచగవ్య. Organic farming means if we use the chemical fertilizers, it get harmful to the soil anamata. Okay, chemical fertilizers are harmful to the soil, and not only harmful, like if we use chemical fertilizers we get good high yield. Okay, till when we get high yield, up to 20 to 30 years. Up to 20 to 30 years we get the high yield. After that 20 to 30 years, the soil gets damaged. The soil gets damaged with these chemicals. So organic farming is came into the farming, which can give high yield till the last means we can't say it won't damage the soil. Organic by using the organic fertilizers, organic farming is done. Okay, for the organic farming, microbes and organic manures are used for the organic farming. Microbial, if we use microorganisms for the organic farming, that farming is called microbial cultures or biofertilizers. That if we cultivate the crops with the microorganisms, that particular process is called microbial culture, or those are called the biofertilizers. Okay, two types of organic farming are there. First of all, by using the nitrogen fixers or the phosphorus mobilizers or solubilizers. Nitrogen fixers or phosphorus mobilizers or solubilizers. Example, nitrogen fixers like Rhizobium bacteria is used to fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere. About this we studied in the root nodules formation. And nitrogen fixers like blue-green algae. Rhizobium is a bacteria. Blue-green algae it's a algae. It also fixes the nitrogen. And for fungi also, there's so many fungi are also there to fix the phosphorus, to solubilize the phosphorus. So many fungi like penicillin, mycorrhiza are there to fix the phosphorus also. These are the examples which fixes the nutrients in the soil and gives to the crops or plants. Okay. Synthesizes the nutrients. Actually, like organic manures contains the nutrients in itself. But here in the this bacteria microbial culturing, it won't have the nutrients in itself. Bacteria lopala nutrients undavu. It gets the nutrients, synthesizes the nutrients. It gets nutrients from the atmosphere and it synthesizes the nutrients and gives to the plant. Normal organic manures lo idrema andulone nutrients untai, but indulo lopala bacteria lopala nutrients undavu. It synthesizes, produces the nutrients itself and gives to the plants. Okay, this particular fertilizers are called farmer or eco-friendly fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers. Till now we discussed about the organic fertilizers. Now it is the time to discuss about the chemical fertilizers. Example, urea, NPK, super phosphates, some of the examples of the chemical fertilizers. These are synthetic, man-made. These chemical fertilizers are man-made and they are harmful to the soil. And for example, if we take the urea and ammonium sulfate, how much amount of the nutrients it containing? Urea contains 46% of nitrogen and potassium and phosphorus and potassium are absent in the urea. 46% of nitrogen is present in the urea. And ammonium sulfate. In ammonium sulfate, 0% of nitrogen is present, 8 to 9% of phosphorus is present, and 0% of potassium is present. No potassium and nitrogen are absent in ammonium sulfate. Only 8 to 9% of phosphorus is present. And these the examples for the 50 kg bags. If we take the 50 kg fertilizer bags of ammonium sulfate and urea, this much amount of the nutrients, percentage of nutrients present in that bags. If we take the 46% of nitrogen, it contains 23 kgs of nitrogen. See here, 46% of nitrogen in urea bag, 50 kg urea bag contains 23 kg of nitrogen. This is percentage, means 23 kg of nitrogen is there in that bag. Okay, and this the chemical fertilizers, how it is used means by spraying or sprinkling, spraying challadam, then sprinkling and ఒక ఏమంటారు ఒక బకెట్ లాంటి తీసుకొని దాంతో స్ప్రే చేస్తుంటారు, స్ప్రేయింగ్ అండ్ డిజాల్వింగ్ ఇన్ ద ఇరిగేషన్ వాటర్. కొన్నేమో ఇరిగేషన్ వాటర్ అంటే మనము పంట పొలాలకి వాటర్ పెడతాం కదా, ఆ వాటర్లో డిజాల్వ్ చేయడం, కలపడం, అలాంటి ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ మెథడ్స్ గా మనము కెమికల్ ఫర్టిలైజర్స్ ని ప్లాంట్స్ కి ఇస్తాం అన్నమాట. టు రెప్లెనిష్ ద సాయిల్ ఫర్టిలైజర్స్, సాయిల్ న్యూట్రియంట్స్ అనేవి మనకు తగ్గిపోతుంటాయి. ప్లాంట్ సాయిల్ నుంచి న్యూట్రియన్స్ తీసుకోవడం వల్ల సాయిల్ లో న్యూట్రియన్స్ తగ్గిపోతుంటాయి కాబట్టి we are adding chemical fertilizers to replenish that soils. Okay, and amount determines the effect. How much amount we are using determines that effect anamata. For example, if we consider rice varieties like IR18 and Peta, these are the two varieties of rice. If we take per ton per hectare, this much of crop we take IR18 and Peta, 1 ton per 1 hectare if we take, we are using how many kgs of nitrogen per hectare. Based upon that, it shows its yield. If you are increasing the amount of nitrogen per hectare, Peta is decreasing. Peta initially it is increasing. If we increase the nitrogen percentage, Peta yield is increasing. Later, if we increase the nitrogen percentage, it is decreasing. Its yield is decreasing. But IR18, if we increase the nitrogen percentage, this IR18 crop yield also increasing. This is the amount determines the effect, means how much amount we are using, how much nutrient amount we are using, it detects the effect of this particular yield effect. Crop protection, how we will protect the crop. Weeding, by weeding అంటే weeds అంటే కలుపు మొక్కలు, చాలా unwanted plants ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట మన crop field లో. Those unwanted plants we should remove, otherwise it may harmful not harmful, like damages our the crop. Okay, these weeds damages our crop, so we should remove those weeds. And next, by weeding we can protect our plants or we can protect our crop. Next, insects and plant diseases. Some insects causes diseases for the plants and some insects are helpful for plants also. Okay, these insects, some harmful insects, what it does means it eats the stem, leaves, roots and destroys the plants. And as well as some microorganisms are there which can affect or harm our crop. It destroys plants and all. And some fungal growth also there. Some fungus also damages the crop. Fungal growth, discoloration of leaves ni color lekunda chesestayi annamata konni insects and some fungi and some microorganisms. And rustling of leaves, tuppu pettettattuga chestayi annamata konni leaves ni. Tuppu ante it like some patchy substances forms on the leaves. Okay, and this can be get rid of by using insecticides and fungicides. Insecticides means which kills the insects, and fungicides means which are the chemicals used to kill the fungus. Okay, and these are sprayed on the plants or crops to get rid of these insects and fungus. Okay, some helpful insects are also there. How it helps means in the pollination process. In the pollination process, it helps in the crop. Okay, and by using these insecticides and fungicides, one disadvantage is also there, that these insecticides and fungicides will destroy or kill useful insects and microorganisms also. Some are useful, no? That insects also it kills. Okay, by this some disadvantage is also there. And next, some birds are there and some insects, some birds and insects which predates on the insects or microorganisms. కొన్ని birds and insects వేరే పురుగులను తింటుంటాయి అన్నమాట. So by using these insect eating birds and insects, we can get rid of these insects, that harmful insects. And next, Deepapu Teralu. Deepapu Teralu is the word. Like Deepapu Teralu are used to trap the insects. In night time, Deepapu Teralu means Deepalu. Diyas are used, means lamps are used, fire lamps are used in the kept in the fields, and these insects all will surround this fire. Like you may see night time, if power off is there, we used to place candle. Around the candle so many insects will fly. So if those insects surrounds this fire, we can easily trap that insects and kill them. Okay, అంటే మనం దీపాలు పెట్టినప్పుడు దాని చుట్టూ కొన్ని పురుగులు చేరుతాయి కదా, ఆ పురుగులని మనము by using handkerchiefs or any plastic bags we can trap them and we can remove them. Okay, అలా చేసుకుంటారు అన్నమాట దీపపు తెరలు అంటే by keeping this diyas or fire lamps in the at one place in the field, they will trap the insects. By this they trap the insects and we can get rid of plant diseases in fields. Natural pest controlling methods. Pest controlling methods మనం నార్మల్గా ఇన్సెక్టిసైడ్స్, ఫంగిసైడ్స్ యూస్ చేసి చేస్తాం. నార్మల్లీ naturally also we can do that, like spiders, dragonfly, chrysola, myriads and ladybird beetles. These are the insects and birds which eats the larvae of jassids, thrips, stem borers. వీటిని ఇవి ఇన్సెక్ట్స్ అన్నమాట, వీటిని తింటుంటాయి ఇవి. By this natural method we can get rid of insects. And next, fungi like trichoderma and bacteria like BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. These two angels are normally Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria destroys the stem borers in tobacco. Stem borers are the insects in the tobacco plants. By using this Bacillus thuringiensis, these stem borers are get ridden, okay, in the tobacco plants. And mixed crops. Mixed crops means the tangro. Okay, by using the mixed crops also can prevent the insects. Also can prevent the insects. Prevents the tangro virus disease on paddy. Tangro virus disease insects వల్ల cause అవుతుంది ఇందులో paddyలో. This can be prevented by using mixed crops, and also prevents gram caterpillar and bollworms and dry diseases in some plants by using the mixed crops. These mixed crops which prevents the insects causing the disease in plants or crops are called Akarshaka Pantalu. Akarshaka Pantalu. Okay, these mixed crops particularly which prevents the insects are called Akarshaka Pantalu. Finished. It's questions time. Answer these questions in the comment box. Till now, if you didn't subscribe my channel, like, share, comment this video.